Hiya, I'm Jasper, and welcome to your video review for Gladiator. It's a movie starring Russell Crowe, Joaquin Phoenix, and Djimon Hounsou, along with some other people. So, as always, I'm going to give you the good, the bad, and the furry. To start off with the furry, there's lions and tigers and bears, oh my! Okay, I mean, there's definitely tigers in this, and some dogs. That's about it. Okay, moving on. So, this is a movie that everyone needs to see. So, I'd like for you to continue watching this review, but, long story short, thumbs up, really thumbs up. You need to go watch this movie if you haven't. I know that it came out like 20 years ago or something, but it is a movie that holds up. It's not like some of the others where you're like, oh, well, the audio is really hissy because it was made in the 70s, or like, oh, you can tell that they didn't have the capability to do this, whatever. No. This is a movie that holds up. It is absolutely fantastic. I think it is one of the most perfect movies of this genre ever made, and you need to go watch it right after watching this review. Okay. So, it's set in like, I think, 1280 AD, somewhere around there. So Russell Crowe is General of the Felix of the Northern Army, and there's a Caesar, and this is a movie about struggle and about overcoming and about like knowing where you are in the world, and just there's so many layers to this movie that I don't want to like guide your thinking on this movie, but I also want you to appreciate that, like, if you're not one of those people that appreciates a movie where that is all about thinking whatever, there are some badass motherfucking fight scenes in this, just super badass. And if you just want to watch for the enjoyment of like the action of it, you can. It is that good where, yes, there's dialogue-y bits, but there is badass action, and they work so well together. And this movie was made at, I think, the perfect time, because it was made when they still had to have people in actual armor and actual swords, I mean, blunted and, padded or whatever, but so actual armor and actual swords actually fighting each other on screen with, like, real explosions happening and just armies and horses and actual things happening. So they actually had to do that because the technology couldn't afford to just CGI everything. But they also had enough CGI where when you needed the real, check out this fucking epic shit, like, look at the scale, they could do that. They had the technology to fill in some of the sets and to really get the grand scale of things there without looking like CGI. So that's why I think it was made in the perfect time where they weren't over-reliant on CGI, but the CGI was good enough to complement and not be obtrusive. So I think that pretty much all the CGI holds up in this. And the clashing of the swords and the people coming together and how they, and I know that there's complicated editing and whatnot involved in it, but that's the beauty of it, is that it looks so real, and it's good, and it's visceral, and you can see that it was practical things going on screen. So I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And Russell Crowe is a badass motherfucker. I will just say that. I know he's had some up and downs with his weight, and no hate on that because people be people, and I can't judge, but the next time I really see him be this badass that I can remember is in the Robin Hood movie that he's in. If you haven't seen that, go and watch that too, because it's much better than the previews would have you believe. So, Gladiator and Robin Hood, I know they're like 20 years difference between them, but he's still got it when he needs to. And this movie, he has got it. And this was also the first movie that I ever saw Djimon Hounsou in, and he is just fantastic in this movie. I don't know for sure if this is the movie that launched Djimon Hounsou's career. But it definitely was the first movie that I saw him in, and I've noticed him in every movie after this that I've seen him in. So I like to think that this is the movie that launched his career, and rightfully so, because he is just perfect for the role. He's so good in this. And Joaquin Phoenix, I mean, I think he's won an Oscar now, so you know that the boy can act. And this is one of his, like, when he's still young and good-looking type of roles. And he does a really good job of being this character that you're just like, and just you get them. I'm gonna call it menace, but there's a better word for it that I'm not getting right now. But he does really good at being who he is, who his character is in this movie, and it's fantastic. And his sister does a fantastic job. I just can't recall her name for other things that she's been in, so we're gonna move on. And then the other supporting characters are good. It has the dude from Braveheart that I saw in a couple movies, and I'm like, oh hey, I recognize that guy. And then I didn't see him again after that, so I don't know what happened. I feel like I'm gonna Google his biography later and find out that he like retired to Bo-Katan or something. Anywho, this is a fantastic movie. I can't say enough good things about it. The music. This is, I believe, Hans Zimmer. So don't crucify me if I have the wrong composer, but Hans Zimmer, who also did Pirates of the Caribbean, like he was a little lazy in that he reused Gladiator and like just kind of upped the beat a little bit for the Pirates of the Caribbean theme. So if you're like watching this, you're like, wait a second, I feel like I recognize this. You do, because he copied himself for that. So I know that more people now associate it with Pirates of the Caribbean, but that is just one of the many excellent songs that just it just ups the impact of this movie. And the pacing is perfect. Like the actions and everything else. I saw at one point a few years ago, I saw the extended version. Don't bother. It's one of the few times where I don't think the extended version is as good as the theatrical cut. So I don't even know outside of like a Blu-ray or a DVD that you'd be able to find the extended edition, because most streaming services don't offer those sort of things. But definitely check out the theatrical edition, and just if you haven't already, you really have to watch it, because the sword fighting is absolutely fantastic. You feel every minute of it. There's just, and yes, there's more than one fight, but it's each done in a creative way, so it's not all the same. And it's so good. And even like the larger scale battles with like the armies and whatnot, that was done really well. It wasn't overdone. It wasn't too long. It wasn't just a bunch of CGI people fighting CGI people in the like far off distance. It was together. They were fighting. It was good. It was brutal. And yeah, so, and I really buy Russell Crowe as Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the Norse, general of the Felix Legions. I'm not going to say the rest, because if you haven't seen the movie, you need to see the rest. But yes, hopefully you've seen this. Hopefully I've convinced you to watch it. If you haven't already, it holds up. It's amazing, and you'll be amazing for watching it. All right, that's all I have for this one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the next one. Bye.